Hello and welcome to another Happy Hour with Hockett. I am your host, Anna Hockett, and today I have a very special guest who's a local business owner, as usual, in Colorado Springs. Before we get into that, I have to give a quick plug to the Colorado Springs Rising Professionals, or I've heard a lot of people call them the RPs lately, which is super exciting to know that people are hearing about this organization and wanting to get involved. The Colorado Springs Rising Professionals is an organization that I joined to feel or continue to feel more community within the Colorado Springs area. I am not from here. I moved about 3 years ago, and it's been a really great experience so far, a very, very recent experience. But the cool thing about the Rising Professionals is whether you are looking for an organization to connect you to others, or you want to join in hopes to connect to an organization that you feel passionate about, like a nonprofit or another business or other business owners, the Colorado Springs Rising Professionals really meets you where you want to be. So without further ado, let's get on with a beverage of choice with Michelle. Michelle is here from Socofit. A really cool thing with social media is that people are starting to reach out to me and say, hey, you have to interview this business owner because this gym is the best place ever. And I was so excited to get connected to Michelle. Before I let Michelle start to tell her story, I do have to do a little cheers. Do you have some sort of beverage? Michelle is also fitness oriented, so I don't know if she has booze with her, but today I have a very special margarita by the Pikes Peak Lemonade organization, who I think is going to be one of my interviewees on this show, which is really exciting. This is the Hibiscus Jalapeno Margarita mix. Just add a little tequila and a little club soda, and it's delicious right here. So, Michelle, what do you have?
Well, I'm a bit greedy, so I like to drink local, but this is a bolder company, so I drink a lot of tea. That's my go-to, celestial teas. But I'm also, because I'm supposed to be fitness oriented, the only reason I don't have alcohol, and I've got some kombucha, but the only reason I don't have alcohol is because I have a long day of coaching, and if I turn up drunk to my coaching sessions, I might lose a bit of business.
It's frowned upon to be drunk when you're teaching fitness.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not frowned upon to do social hour like we usually do. I'm all about a little bit of a tipple here and there because, life is too short, but not while I'm on the job.
I totally agree, but can we do a little toast just to start things off?
Heck yeah, we can.
Cheers.
Cheers, Anna.
Cheers, everybody. And that's fantastic. Michelle, tell me about you. Clearly, you're not born and raised in Colorado Springs.
Don't have a local accent, do I? No, my accent's very mixed. I was born and raised in England, and I moved over to the US when I was, oh my gosh, how old was I? 29.
Okay.
So I've been here, I feel like I'm getting old. I've been here 10 years, and just a little less than 10 years. And my husband is British as well. We've got two kiddos who have very American accents, and it's hilarious because now they've been at home because of everything that's going on, and we're homeschooling. Their English accents are coming out, so we've got a mix of British. It's like mummy, and it's me, mommy, I'm going to wash my hands. So it's really funny.
It sounds like a country. That's hilarious. I love that. How many kids do you have, Michelle?
I have two. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and then my youngest daughter is actually 6 tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So you're homeschooling. You're working, owning a business, homeschooling. You're doing it all right now, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I've got my fingers in a few different pies. So I have the gym, Socofit, which is just off of Garden of the Gods Road and I-25.
Okay.
And it's right near like where Core Power Yoga is and Garden of the Gods Homes and that whole precinct in there. We're right there. My business is a little bit of a mix, to be honest. So I first started out doing, oh my gosh, this is like my 20th year as a personal trainer and a coach.
Okay.
And I started out very young in England and have actually always worked with soccer players. I worked with semi-pro soccer players back in the UK.
Football, right?
Football, right, exactly. Yeah, I say that here and people get a little bit... and so, it's always been sports performance and then predominantly women that I've worked with. And then I moved out here and I was doing online training and I taught at a personal training college in town. So I train trainers to become trainers. So the great thing is, I've got a varied skill set, and I make sure that we don't do any fad stuff. I'm not about fad diets and running yourself into the ground. I'm about smart training, get it done, have fun in the process, get results, and then just socializing. So Socofit is it's actually a predominantly female facility. We're a studio,
Okay.
and we offer group training for females, and I work with men privately and in small groups. And then the other side of my business is soccer performance training. So it's a little bit of both, and we've got additional coaches that work with us. But I feel really blessed to be able to have opened a brick and mortar in Colorado Springs, because I love this town. This is the first place that I've been in the US where I've actually felt like I'm home. And that's a big deal.
That is a really big deal. I'm so happy to hear that, because that's how I feel about Colorado Springs. Some of the people who have ever watched this know that I moved here from Chicago about 3.5 years ago and fell in love and all the things. But I also feel like this is home, and I'm so grateful to live in such a beautiful place, but also a place where a lot of people are really encouraging community, and it's just a really special thing in my opinion. And it's a pretty big city for this type of close-knit type of community, which is what we're promoting as much as we possibly can. So
Yeah.
Tell me, did you guys move straight to Colorado Springs then from?
We were we were in New Mexico for a long time before
Okay.
we moved here, and lived in Albuquerque, and I ran my business there, and just there's we just needed a change. And my husband said to me, I should take you to Colorado. You'd probably love it. But he said, you do realize as soon as you come here, and we came to the Springs for our first visit, he said, I guarantee you're going to want to move. And as we crossed the border from New Mexico, and we saw the mountains and the streams, I looked at him and said, we're moving. Those Springs. And it was just like, oh, it was like the heavens opened, and I'm seeing all this amazing stuff. And the people are so friendly, and the women are badasses, and everybody's. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, all right, good. Okay. We've got like some really driven people, and some really family-oriented people, and just such a hodgepodge of really welcoming people. And I thought, my gosh, what better place to open a facility where I can help women feel like they're themselves again, and find their identities, and really bring out the inner them, rather than the I'm a mom, I'm a wife. It's like, you know what? I'm Michelle. I know who I am. I found my thing. And what better place to do that than here? It was just so exciting to be able to do that. Love it.
So did you have a shop, or not a shop, a location then in New Mexico, or is this the first time you've had an actual brick and mortar come through the door?
Yeah, first brick and mortar, and it took me this long. Like, it's taken me 20 years. And the funny thing is, when I would teach the incoming personal trainers at the college, and the first thing they would say on the first day, I want to run my own facility. Hey, Michelle, where's yours? I'm like, I don't want a facility. Okay. I don't own a gym. I did online coaching, which is funny because now everything is virtual right now. So it was like, oh, quick flip, and we're back to virtual. But I didn't want that. So I trained outdoors. My home was, so this is actually my garage. We converted it into a gym. And so my clients would come to me, or I'd train people at the college facilities, and I had no intention of opening a gym until I realized that I could be helping so many more women, and really creating a really close-knit team. So we're not boot camp. We don't do big groups.
Okay.
Thing is, I want to get to know everybody. I know everybody's partners and names, and we know birthdays, and we celebrate stuff together. And I'm quite friends with my clients, which is like the best thing for me. So we do small group stuff, and then we can customize. So, but yeah, it was just like even though it was a huge transition to go from, hey, no overheads, home gym, to, whoa, what's this?
That's what I was going to say. Like, how did you make the decision to make such an investment? Because that takes a ton of guts, Michelle.
Yeah. When I make a decision, I make the decision, and it usually takes me a while. But this was one of those things where I literally had a bug in my head, I need to do, how am I going to help more people? How am I going to get people away from this run yourself into the ground, starve yourself to get results that doesn't work and keeps people in cycles? And I knew that I had something that I could bring to people. And I kid you not, you know how people joke about aha moments?
Mm-hmm.
That was my aha moment. I said to my husband, you know what? I'm going to open a gym. And he was like, you've got one. I'm like, no, I'm going to open a big gym. And he was like, yeah, okay, all right. So that day I called up a realtor, commercial realtor, said, okay, what have you got for me? Went to have a look at a property that day. It took me like a month to find one. And then, bam, we opened a week after I got the keys to the facility I'm at now.
And when was that?
It was November, where are we now? 2020. November 2018.
So it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, like
Michelle, you are the definition of a badass. Like, that's amazing.
I don't know if it's amazing or crazy. I do, question myself sometimes. But you know what? It's so rewarding. I've had loads of like coaching calls today with my clients that are just so thrilled that they're creating these really amazing changes. And my favorite thing, this is what like gets me out of bed at stupid o'clock every morning, is that I've got women that are saying to me like, how did this happen? I feel like I didn't do enough to get the results that happened. And that's my thing. Like, I don't want fitness and nutrition to take over people's life. I think it should be part of people's life. And if I can help you figure out how to eat pasta and have your glass of wine, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to help you figure out how to do that, because guess what? I want to do that too.
Michelle, I'm falling in love with you, and I need to come to the gym is what needs to happen. But I'm just, this is just so wonderful. And it's so incredible that you've turned your passion. I mean, you were always doing it, right? You were always training, but now you're able to touch so many more people.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel really fortunate, like really fortunate. And, you know, even now with things that are happening and, you know, so many people struggling, this is where fitness is so helpful. Not like flop around fitness, throw your body around and hope for something, but like really focused training, what I call training rather than just fitness, that we know that exercise is medicine. Exercise is just as effective as cognitive behavioral therapy for depression. And of course, you know, there's always a case for medications, but we know that with medication and fitness combined, it can really help people who have depression. And having had depression myself, I'm very open about my journey. It is really one of the things that has saved my sanity over the years. And many of the men and the women that I coach have all said the same thing, like, this has saved me. I don't know where I would be if I hadn't been doing what I could do now. And so, you know, when people think that, you know, fitness is all about looking good in your Lululemons, well, of course there's an element. Everybody wants to look good naked, but there is a much deeper rooted reason for moving your body and fueling your body. And much of that comes down to mental health as well as physical health. And that's a big driver for me.
Oh, that's amazing. Tell me about the feeling you get when someone tells you you've literally changed my life, or, you know, I can't believe I feel like this, or I haven't felt like this in years. Tell me about the feeling that you get when your clients and your friends tell you that.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to show you right now. I've got goosebumps because the moment you said that, I thought they've actually become very dear friends of mine, who I met like 18 months ago, like 2.5 years ago is when they first came to me, and just had trouble picking up their toy poodle to get the dog into the car, couldn't pick up a load of laundry, you know, early 50s, just struggling mentally, physically, were frightened about where they were going to go, family history, you know, people dying very suddenly, and they were just terrified. And so we started right from the bottom and we gradually built them up. Now, one of these ladies has become, hands down, this woman is fitter than I am. She is absolutely incredible. And a few months back, she came in for a session and we were just sort of chit-chatting in between. And she sat me down. She said, I need to tell you something. I was like, okay, this doesn't sound good.
Right. Right.
And she said to me, I need to tell you that you've saved my life. Oh God, I'm like getting a bit choked up. She said, you've saved my life. She said, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. She said, my life was spiraling out of control. And you have given me my focus. You've helped me find myself. And and she said, I just feel so strong and capable. And that for me is just the best thing
I'm like,
happen. I know, like it just
I need a drink is what I need. Jesus. That's amazing.
yeah, and I've had a few of those moments with my clients, and I get a lot of physician referrals, and people who've had cardiac conditions, people who've got neck and back and hip pain and just are really struggling to move, that suddenly are able to climb the stairs without pain, who can go for a hike. I've got one lady who I've been working with for 3 months, horrific back pain, overweight. She just like completely lost who she was. Used to love hiking and backpacking, and she messaged me last month and she said, "Oh my God, I went on a 4 mile hike and I don't have pain," and I cried
Of
because
course.
it just changes. It changes people's life, and yeah, it's fun. And there's this element of let's get together, let's have some fun, let's lift heavy, or let's do whatever we're going to do for the day. But then there's this deep, really meaningful thing that happens that just makes you realize that you've got purpose, and that you're doing something so much more than just having numbers in a gym. That's not.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, let's just get into, I know you said there's different programs for different folks or different types of people. And you kind of mentioned that it's a little bit more female focused, the gym is versus your personal training. So tell me a little bit about what the different programs are, and just to let everybody know kind of what the offerings are with Socofit. And then, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know you probably have many clients to change lives of.
Yeah, sure. So we've got the main offerings at the gym are group training, and that is female only. Ladies like that, they can kind of come in as they are and do their thing. So we have training. Right now we've got 13 classes each week. Right now we're all online, but as soon as we're allowed to, we'll transition to outdoor. We'll go back into the gym. So we've got different levels of programming depending on what people need. So at the top level, you can come in and do as many classes as you want, and I help people figure out which ones are going to be right for them based on what they need. And then we do more sort of custom nutrition coaching as well. So, okay, what do we need to do? How do we need to make this work for you? There's no cookie cutter programs. I really go in depth with everybody. Then we've got like a middle level where, they're actually doing pretty good with their nutrition. They want more training. They need just a little bit of help, a little bit of tweaking. So we have something for them. And then we've got something else for people that have, they've got it together with their nutrition, or they just want to add something new to their routine, and they want to come a couple of times a week and train with us. So that's how our group system works. And then, of course, we have personal training. We have like sports performance training and sort of rehab-based stuff as well. So price ranges anywhere from $99 a month up to $600 to $800 a month, depending on the level of intensity and how much you train. And so that's wide ranging. But our group stuff is usually like $99 to $200 a month, and we find something that fits for everybody there. And then right now of course we're doing virtual. So this is my home gym right now. So I train everybody in here. So it's much like we're doing here. So Anna, you would be picking up your kettlebells behind me, and I'd be cueing you, and I'd be saying, okay, how's that feeling? All right, well, instead of that, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, or let's bump you up a bit, and getting you training at home. So it's really no different than in person right now, except I can't do one of those in person.
For sure.
I might do an air one of those.
Perfect. So, and I know you gave us the location, and can you mention that one more time just and then we'll make sure that we put the link in everything as well.
Yeah. It's 975 West Garden of the Gods Road. That zip is 80907. So we are just west of I-25 on Garden of the Gods Road, just past Chestnut.
Perfect.
And we are right in there next to Garden of the Gods Homes and a wellness centre. And we're by appointment only. So we're not walk-in, rock up. Like I expect people to show up to class and be there at a certain time. And so we're by appointment only.
I love it. And then what about social media? Anything we should know about? Can we follow? I know I follow you now and we're connected on social media, which is wonderful. Anything else we should know about social media or your website?
I am mostly on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm figuring out the fact that if I post to Instagram first, it automatically goes to Facebook. And I'm like, oh, who knew?
For sure.
I'm gonna up my Instagram game, but there's a bunch of stuff. I do a lot of live videos on Facebook, so it's actually on my personal profile. So it's I'm Michelle Smith, but if you look for Socofit on Facebook, you can find me on there. And then my website is www.sofitcolorado.com. And I'd love to see, people just come out, people can come out and try it for a couple of weeks. And if they think, oh my God, this is it, this is my thing, then we can look at having people join. And if they try it and they're like, yeah, not my thing, that's okay too. So Perfect. Anybody that wants to come in for a free trial, more than welcome to.
Thank you so much. Do you have any idea when you guys are going to be non-virtual again?
We're looking at doing some socially appropriate distancing training outside, maybe first to second week of June is what we're looking at. I've just got to get confirmation from
waiting for the guidelines, right?
Yep. As soon as we know more, we can do that, and then we'll be raring to go when we can open the studio with lots of extra sanitizer.
Of course. Well, I have to thank you so much. This has been so inspiring for me. I'm really into fitness, but we all get highs and lows sometimes when it comes to our whole fitness journey or our health journey. And you just have inspired me so much today. I'm so grateful that we got to chat. And it's so wonderful to know that you're truly changing lives. And that's something that we all can be happy about, especially at a time like this.
Exactly. We've got to look after our mental health and our physical health, because that's what's going to help us get through tough times. And, that connection with your community as well is huge.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much to everybody else. Thank you for joining us today and getting to know Michelle. We'll see everybody next week, but thank you so much and have a great one.